This doesn't feel like a typical car show anymore. If you've been to MIAS before, you'll notice it almost immediately. Something is different. It's not just the crowd, although this year the crowd is massive. It's not just the lights or the displays. It's the energy. There's a quiet shift happening across the show floor, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. For the first time, it feels like the Philippines isn't just talking about the future. It's stepping into it. For years, MIAS followed a familiar rhythm. Big gasoline engines, chrome, horsepower, exhaust notes, booths built around performance, heritage, and brand legacy. You would see concept cars, sometimes electric, but they felt distant, like a future that wasn't quite ready yet. And for most people, the choices were clear. Sedans, SUVs, pickups, all powered the same way. Reliable, proven, familiar. Electric vehicles? Interesting, but not quite practical. Not yet. But this year, something flipped. As you walk through MIAS 2026, one thing becomes clear. Electric vehicles are everywhere. Not tucked in a corner, not experimental. They are front and center. From fully electric cars to hybrids to plug-in hybrids, electrification is no longer a side story. It is the story. And it's not just the number of vehicles, it's the confidence behind them. New brands, especially from China, are no longer trying to prove themselves. They are presenting complete products, polished, competitive. Designs are sharper. Interiors feel more premium. Technology is no longer a compromise. In many cases, it's the highlight. And maybe the biggest shift of all, people are not just looking. They are asking questions, serious questions, about range, charging, monthly payments, availability. For the first time, gasoline cars don't feel like the default. They feel like one option among many. So what changed? Why now? Part of the answer is simple: economics. Fuel prices have been rising, and for many Filipinos, that daily cost is hard to ignore. When alternatives start to make sense, people pay attention. Then there's policy. Government incentives have lowered the barrier. What used to feel expensive now feels within reach. Financing is evolving too. Banks are supporting electric vehicles, offering packages that make ownership more realistic. But maybe the biggest shift is technology. Today's EVs are different. Range has improved, enough for daily driving. Performance is strong, sometimes surprising. And features? Often better than traditional cars at the same price. Put all of that together, and the question changes. It's no longer why go electric, it becomes why not? But stepping into the future is one thing, being ready for it is another. Because the Philippine context is unique. Charging infrastructure is still growing, and for many people, especially in condos, home charging is not simple. Public chargers exist, but they are not yet as common as gas stations. Then there's long-distance travel. Metro Manila driving? Manageable. But provincial trips still need planning. And habits matter. We've spent decades with gasoline, quick refueling, familiar routines. Switching to electric is not just technical, it's behavioral. So MIAS 2026 shows what's possible, but it also raises a question. Are we moving too fast? Or just fast enough? What stood out to me most wasn't just the cars, it was the people. There's a different kind of curiosity, more focused, more informed. You hear conversations about kilowatt hours instead of engine size, about charging time instead of fuel economy. And maybe most interesting, perception is shifting. Brands once unfamiliar are now being considered, not as alternatives, but as first choices. That kind of shift doesn't happen overnight. But when it starts, something bigger is underway. MIAS 2026 may not look dramatically different at first glance. There are still cars, still crowds, still excitement. But underneath it all, something has changed. This feels less like an exhibition and more like a transition. A moment where the future of mobility in the Philippines stops being theoretical and starts becoming real. Years from now, people might look back at this show as a turning point, not because EVs appeared, but because people were ready, not just as the future, but as the present. And maybe that's the real story of MIAS 2026. Not just the cars, but the realization that the shift has already begun.